Hey guys, I'm excited to be filming right now. It's been a while, I feel like. My parents were in town for a little bit over a week. I was planning my sister-in-law's baby shower and we just had that this past weekend, so that was taking up a lot of time. And just like with end of summer stuff, we've been trying to get like all the loose ends ready for the fall time. I just cannot believe that we're back to school, you know? So in today's video, I wanted to share all these specifics for curriculum that I'm using for the girls, everything that I really love, and just sharing you all of those things in case you are needing curriculum for your kids, debating what to get, or maybe you're just wondering if you want to homeschool and just looking at your options. I want to just kind of give you like the nitty gritty of what we use. So if you guys are new here, I have twin girls who are 5. They'll be turning 6, crazy, in December. So they're kindergarten. We have been homeschooling now for a year and I've really, really loved it. It's been great. Moving forward into this new year, we have a lot more planned, like that things are involved in. So I'll kind of walk you guys through that too. Our calendar is filling up very quickly. So I'm like mentally preparing myself for everything and just to get into the zone. And we're just switching things up for them too. I'm homeschooling year round though. So this summer we never really stopped. So that's why it's kind of weird because it's like you see everybody's back to school photos and all that. And we never really had a set stop date. We just continued throughout the week doing stuff when we had time. Say we had plans and wanted to do something fun, then we would not do school for the day and we would take a few weeks off because we actually got sick a couple times this summer. So there were some times that we were not doing school, clearly. But I liked to just kind of maintain what we were doing so that it was fresh in their minds. Since the girls are starting to read now, just like keeping that going rather than just stopping. So we did a little bit of math throughout the week, a little bit of their reading curriculum, and we also did a summer nature study, which is really great. I'll share that too because we're still going through. I've not finished it yet. Let me first start off by talking you through what we're doing new this year, and then we'll go into the classroom and I'll show you like specific things that we're using. So probably the biggest difference this year is we are with a charter school. So my main purpose for doing that was to get funding because it's crazy how much stuff adds up when you're homeschooling. You don't really realize it, all the supplies you're getting, the curriculum, activities, like everything. So this past year, we weren't a part of anything. We did everything on our own. And I just found the curriculum that we used through Instagram accounts, through friends, what they used. And then kind of halfway through the year, I realized I didn't love one of them. I wanted to switch up some things. And so we kind of just, last year was just like a learn as you go year. And I really enjoyed it though. I just didn't really put a ton of expectations on myself. I just wanted to go into it with an open mind and really have the girls enjoy it, and I think they did. So this year we're gonna be a part of a charter. It's the full, you can do it where you go, you know, into a physical class if you want to. We're doing the full homeschool option. So we'll meet with it's not necessarily a teacher, but it's like your guide through it, and you submit your like samples once a month to her. So you submit 4 samples: language arts, math, social studies, and science. Now, social studies for kindergarten is like things around your surroundings. What's the point of a post office? It can be like the nature stuff that we're doing, that can count too. So it's very broad and pretty general. And, the nature stuff is science, sorry. And then the social study stuff is more like stuff around your surroundings. So there's like a lot of flexibility in that for kindergarten. And you can also like take a picture of something you're doing. We are using our funds for KiwiCo crates to get those, things like that. So that counts as like their science. So you can get creative with how you use it. And then you meet with them in person a few times throughout the year. But they also offer like park dates for everybody to get together and different things like that. And a lot of the moms in our co-op are part of the same charter, so it's kind of nice to have that support group. We can ask each other questions if we're unsure about what is going on or whatever. So I kind of have to be like more on top of just sending things in, but nothing really will change as far as the curriculum and all of that goes. But I did put in for their next level for reading, so I got that in. For supplies, you submit it to them and then they have to approve it and then they send it to you. So we're doing that. Another thing that we're doing is this other like learning academy thing that we found. It's for homeschool families and they offer all these electives for your kids. So it's not like they're replacing your core subjects. They're supplementing with other things. So the girls are in a baking class and an art class, and I'm so excited for that for them. I think it's gonna be super fun. I think they'll have a really good time because there's one girl from their dance class is gonna do it with them, and then there's a couple kids from their co-op who are gonna do it too. So they're gonna know a few people. It's their classes that they're taking are K through 2nd grade. So I really like that too because they're not just with their age group, they're with some older kids, and I think that'll be really good for them. So that is a drop off. So they'll be there for 2 hours, just 1 day a week. And I'll probably just run some errands with Owen while they're there. I have like an orientation for that soon. So I'm curious to see how that'll go. But they have really cool things that they offer for kids as they get older, even into high school. There's like coding classes and a bunch of different computer things. There's a Lego class. There is a sewing class, just really neat things like home ec type things that I wish I had growing up. And I think it'll be really neat. So there's that. We're gonna be trying that out and seeing how that goes. And then we also have our co-op that we're a part of. So that is a group, there's a bunch of us moms in it now. It's really grown. And a friend of mine just started it. So I always tell people if you are looking for a group of like homeschool moms in your area and you don't have one, I would just say to start one on your own and have it be word of mouth, and I think you'd be surprised at how many people join. So in that, there's a little group of like 10 kids and they meet up together once a week at one of the mom's houses, and the girls look forward to that every single week. And then another mom started a thing for Owen's age kids, like 3 and 4 year olds, and they meet up once a week, and it's kind of like an outdoor thing for them to do, and it's so cute. She calls it like adventure school for them. And we're taking a break on dance right now, and then they're gonna be starting soccer in a few weeks, and that is a 2-day-a-week thing. It's more like a camp, it's not a league. I figured we'd do this first, see how they like it, and go from there, but we're starting that up, and then they're still continuing with guitar. We're gonna do guitar for a whole year and then assess kind of at the end of the year and see if they wanna continue it, see if we wanna switch it up. But yeah, that's kind of like our activities going on for the fall. So it's gonna definitely be a busy fall. The hard thing is though, there's so many great extracurricular things that you can do now while homeschooling. But one of our main reasons for doing homeschool was to slow down. And so I have to be really intentional with making sure that our days are still slow when we are at home in the mornings and when we don't have like plans to go places. Okay, so let's go in the classroom and I'll share all our curriculum. All right, before I set you on my tripod, let me kind of walk you through our classroom and I'll just show you how I have everything set up. Now, do you need a classroom? Absolutely not. You can just work at your dining table. We don't have one right now. We sold ours like a month ago now it's been, and ours is not coming until October. I love having this little table here because it's perfect for all of us to sit, and usually Owen will just hang with us or just play with something. I'll show you a few things that I have gotten for him to keep him occupied while we do school stuff. So this is from an antique shop. Love it. They have a bunch of these though if you go looking for them. And another thing that I absolutely love is our electric pencil sharpener. It is amazing. So I'll try to link all these things I'm mentioning to you guys. We put this desk in, I don't know when it was, last year or so. And it's been really convenient for homeschool because there's so much storage here. These are from IKEA, these things. And then we had our friend who does a lot of wood stuff for us. We had him build that and then he just installed that into the wall. Over here I have our art cart. Well, that's how it started, but now it's just kind of become the stuff that we use often. In the mornings, I like to read a lot of like poetry to the girls or stories, things that are just like easy to listen to. And when they do their handwriting, I love this collection of Little Bear stories. They'll practice their handwriting in the morning and I'll read to them while they do that. I keep our whiteboards here, our Bible. These are our word flippers. These come with the reading curriculum, all about reading. And then this comes with their math. And then these are Bible verses in there for them to memorize. The bottom two are pretty much nothing right now. Okay, so over here, I keep all of our stuff that I scan. So the math that we use is the Good and Beautiful Kindergarten Math. Here's where we're at right now. We started this about halfway through the year last year. Why aren't we focusing? So we are halfway through it right now. I'm thinking we'll finish in December, but we'll see. So we're now moving on to time and we're doing addition. We're doing a lot of like number, not just number recognition, but what comes after, what comes before. This is stuff that we just did this past week. So yeah, it's a lot of like what point to 17, what number comes before 17, but without seeing it. Like that's some things that we've been working on. Tally marks, simple addition, stuff like this. I've really been enjoying this though. It's very visual. If you guys have kids that are visual learners, this would be really great for you. I also have this math book from Abeka. This is the Number Skills K5. So let me show you kind of the difference. This I feel like is just a more worksheet. It looks more like a typical math worksheet, you know, that you'd see like in a preschool book, kindergarten book. So we did this before we got the Kinder Good and Beautiful and they liked it. And then we just kind of stopped doing it once we had the Good and Beautiful. But let me see where we are in this one. I think we're in, this one is a little more like just straightforward. I feel like you have to kind of explain, it's not going to explain things for you. It's just more like a worksheet. Where this, it's a little slower and it kind of walks you through things a little more. And I find that I can expand upon things a lot more. I scan these for the girls. So each day I will scan one lesson. Well, this is just 2 lessons here. Typically one lesson is 2 pages. So I'll scan it right down here. I'll give them each their copy and then I can save this then for Owen when he's older. And when I scan it, it looks just as great. So also I love this printer. It's from Canon and it has the ink like storage fills rather than the cartridges. And the ink lasts a really long time and it prints really well. But the thing that's kind of nice about the Good and the Beautiful Math is that it lays out stories for it. And so it kind of allows your child to visualize it in a different way. It has little cars and you can drive over the bridge and it's just kind of fun. And I just really like it. I feel like it definitely appeals to me. Obviously that's not what's important though. You want your kid to really like be able to learn well from this style of learning, and the girls do too, but definitely try to figure out like what your kids gravitate towards. I know some kids in their co-op tried this and didn't like it. So it really just depends on what type of learner your child is. But for us, for the girls, they seem to really like this. I would say Violet more than June. June's a little bit more analytical and just kind of wants to get the answers done quick, where Violet is actually curious about like the story and, oh, what's that girl's name and all of that. So there is that. Here's what it comes with. And you get 3 little cars that you use, these things for simple equations, these little sticks, and those little pieces. Okay, I also wanted to mention that every company with their curriculum, sometimes there's better subjects that will work for your kids. So if one doesn't work, don't exclude the entire line of stuff that they offer. Because I originally tried the Good and the Beautiful Level K Primer Language Arts for the girls when we first started last fall. And I finished it, but I didn't like it that much. I just kind of felt like it was missing something. And some of the stuff that they were teaching just seemed, I felt like I had to make my own stuff up. And some of the stuff that was in the curriculum seemed to be like the kids would forget it in a year. I don't know. So didn't love that. But then when I got the math, I was like, okay, I really like the math. And then I also really like their elective type things that they offer. They have a lot of cool things for science, for handwriting, for like creative writing types of things. So take a look at their stuff that they have to offer. I know they have updated their language arts, so I'm not sure how it is now. I'm not sure what the kindergarten stuff is like. I didn't love the Level K Primer. Over on the bookshelf, I carry, well, we have like markers up there so that everybody can't get them all the time. Globes. This white thing stores all of our All About Reading right here. I'll get to that in a sec. Up there, I have my dry erase markers in that little wooden thing right here. And then we have books that I'm usually grabbing, like reference books. We use these all the time. They're so pretty. I love them. They're cute. They're fun. They have a lot of good little tidbits of information. Nature anatomy, ocean anatomy, and farm anatomy. I do want to get the food one as well. And this is another great book. I got this on Thrift Books. Fun with nature. In here, our girls just love like outdoorsy stuff, like flowers and animals and all that. So we do a lot of stuff with that. So these are separate books. Like you can buy them individually. I'm trying here. So like this would be one book, but then this has all of them in one. So it's really handy to like take along if you're taking school on the go or something. We love that. Just really cute little things in there. And then this is unorganized right now. But I have these that we take out in the mornings, our morning menus. These are little menu things that you can get on Amazon. Definitely never updated this after we started, but this is great for them to practice their tracing for numbers. And then in here you can do the weather, the day of the week, the month, and more practicing for letters. So there is that. I love to just pass these out to them in the morning while I can read to them out loud. Try to do a lot of reading out loud too. I got this for Owen, which is really cool. The wooden geoboard, and you can use the rubber bands to make different shapes. Things like this are what keep him occupied. And they're things that I'll have him play with us, or I'll put it out there for him, and it allows me to focus on the girls a little bit more when we're doing stuff that, like with kindergarten stuff, I have to be doing hands-on stuff with them most of the time. They're not at an age where I can just give them their lesson and walk away. Like I'm in here with them the whole time. Okay, so I wanted to share some handwriting stuff that we really like. So this is the Good and the Beautiful Level 1 handwriting. So what I like to do with this is I'll scan 2 sheets and I'll give one the handwriting practice, and then I'll work with math with the other. So they can have one-on-one time, and then because this doesn't really require any help from me. The other things that I got, these ones are from Amazon. They're called Draw Right Now, and these are really cool. So you can pick an animal. There's handwriting practice, and then you can practice drawing them. We got these like way when we first started. So I would lay this out up here, and then they would draw the picture in the top portion, and then practice the sentences down below. Okay, so when we finished the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts, I ended up getting this, and it was from recommendations from a few friends, and I've really, really enjoyed it. The girls are starting to read now, and it just works. So let me share everything that comes with it. We are doing the level 1. There's a placement that you can do before starting, and it kind of assesses where your child's at. I think there's another level before level 1. I don't know what it's called though. It comes with 3 books. It has a collection of stories and all of those. This is the teacher's manual. You need that. And then you need the activity book for your kids. So I ordered an extra activity book. So we have one for Violet and one for June. And then, but you don't need like an extra set of books. And you just need one teacher's manual and you need one of these. So this comes with all of these cards and this has sounds. We actually didn't really need to do much with these because I already knew their sounds when we started all these, but there were a few ones that we would go over. And then in here are all of the words. So this fly is driving me crazy. So there's a ton of them. It takes a while to take all of these cards to like punch them all out and put them in order. But yeah, there's all those. So it has like your mastered section and then your review section and then words you're still waiting to get to. This looks like a lot because this is for 2. I have double the cards. So let me walk you through what a typical lesson is like. They recommend doing 20 minutes a day, not needing to follow or complete a whole lesson in one day, just 20 minutes. We're halfway through this right now. I'm hoping we'll get through it in December, but we'll see. I don't have like a set schedule. We just take it day by day. And if they are doing well, we keep going. If they need a little bit more review, we stop and we take it slow. Okay, so it'll tell you the cards you need for the lesson, which are in there. And then blast off reading pages is in this. So we rip them out. And that shows you like which ones we've completed. It also has an out loud record. We started this and then we never finished it, but we just read every day. So it just kind of was time consuming to do that. But there's like a review page before you read one of the stories to kind of help them go through it quickly. I don't do all of these. It's a lot to do all of them. The girls get bored doing all of them. But there will be an activity here, so it's a lot of like practicing cutting them out. And then this is like figuring out what goes in order here. And all of these go with a lesson. Just like a few little activities in here for them to do. Okay, these are the word tiles. So when they say use these, I usually just do a whiteboard and we'll pull these out, and it's a way to like kind of unscramble words and see them laid out in a different way rather than writing them. And then these are little games. This is separate. You don't have to buy this. This is the Ziggy the Zebra games. And we do these not all the time, but again, it's just like another thing you can do to supplement, and it's just breaking up the lesson. So it's something different. But here you can see these are all the word tiles. So you'll teach the new sounds. It'll tell you to build these words. We'll have them build the words and then switch out some of the letters for new words. And then they'll go to their activity sheets, complete a couple games. It tells you everything to do. So you literally open this up and just go boom, boom, boom. And it tells you everything to say, all the questions to ask. It just lays everything out for you. And then the following lesson is usually reading 2 stories out of here. So it'll give you like contextual things that go with the stories. So it'll have a couple pictures on their worksheet and you'll talk about what those are. You'll kind of go over vocabulary that they need to know to go into the story so that they're not stumped. And then it gives them a little bit more confidence when going through the story. And then you give them a sticker at the end of that. So it goes like that. I just feel like looking at this, probably if you're not familiar with it, just kind of looks a little overwhelming. But like honestly, once you get into it, it makes much more sense. I also make up my own stuff sometimes. So if I want to break it up, sometimes I'll just have them each go to the whiteboard and I'll have them write the words that are on their cards that we're going through. Instead of just sounding them out, I'll have them go up there and write out their words. or the two of them will switch and they'll like quiz each other. I kind of just make some stuff up as we go. So yeah, that is what we're doing for reading. I also got the level 2, which is right here. So you can see same thing, just another level. And this is what it looks like when you get it in the mail. These are all the cards, so you have to break all of those up. So typically in the morning, they'll do their handwriting while I'm reading out loud to them. And then we'll move into something a little bit more unit study, like their nature stuff. I'll show you that right now. And then from there, we'll do our 20 minutes of reading and our math lesson. And that is it. So it depends, like every day it takes a different amount of time to get through all of that. But those are my goals for the day. Sometimes it takes under an hour to do everything. And sometimes we don't get to everything. So it really just depends. Also, I'll sprinkle in like crafts here and there too and fun activities. The kids actually asked me for like a checklist because they like seeing what we have to do. So this is our checklist for the day. Handwriting, 1 math lesson, 20 minutes of all about reading, and nature study. So that's what we're doing right now is learning about shells, and we also were learning about time today. And then also I have my checklist for practicing guitar for them. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you guys was our nature study. This is from Treehouse Schoolhouse. There is, I don't know why I can't think of her name right now, another mom who does really great studies like this. She has a Christmas one that we did and an Easter one. So I'm gonna link that down below too. All right, here's the one we're doing right now. So seashells. It has a song, a hand rhyme, a poem, a picture study, and then it gives you book ideas, materials you might need, and display sheets. And then you print all those out, and we go through these in the mornings. So it's really fun, and then there's like little activities. This is when it was the fish, it was like a fish study. So it has like the hand rhymes and stuff, and it's just like a fun, kind of to break it up from doing just reading and math. And I love just learning about all these different things. It's really fun for them. Anatomy of a fish. Here was the seashells when we did going through all the different seashells. And then I laminate some of the stuff that I want to keep. We haven't done this one yet. Just pretty display things that you can hang up too. Some are flowers. This one's for reptiles. There was the seashell one we did. And then there's also an art piece, so you get to talk about it. And then at the end of our week, once we're done with it, this is stuff to come that we haven't done yet. It's good copy work too. Very like Charlotte Mason based. And then at the end of the week, I have them draw a picture of something that we talked about, and then they'll tell me a sentence of something that they learned or what their picture's about. They write it at the top, and then they watercolor over it, and I laminate it. And at the end of the year, I'm gonna 3-hole punch all these and bind them into like a nice folder for them. I love the Love Every kits. If you guys want some like fun things to add in for your kids to play with, also good for younger ages too. So we've had the block set for a really long time. We love that. All of our wooden stuff that we have, everything is very unorganized right now, is all from this brand. And they have just they have such cool things. This was our latest one that we got, and it has this, and we mixed all these colors, and they got to just kind of play with them, and they're like, oh mom, is this science? So this one's actually for 3-year-olds, but the girls get to do it too. Like, it's fun for all of them. It gives you a bunch of different ideas. They call them heirloom toys because they really last a super long time. I don't want to dump all these out because the girls just put them away today, but this was just one example of something that came in their kit. It comes with all these little guys. There's just endless things to do with these. You can say, let's put them in order from smallest to biggest, or color code them, or sometimes the girls will take these and they'll make their own little like village with things. Take a look at their site because they have really fun things. This too was another thing that we got. It has, Violet was drawing on it, these little puzzle pieces, and then on the other side, really neat things to kind of supplement what you're doing. I also wanted to add that if you guys are new to homeschooling, just know that you're gonna have so much time with your kids now, and so there's really a ton of time to do a lot of things with your kids. And I think in the beginning I thought I had to do, you know, like a craft every day and do all these things, when I realized that just living life with them, there's so many teaching moments through that. Character building, teaching them about the Bible, teaching them about how to work with their siblings and other friends who are different ages, and working through conflict, working through hard times, baking together, cooking together, like doing the laundry, all these simple things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. Now they're all a part of it, and it's really just strengthened our family as they're all running upstairs crazy. But it's just showed me that there's so much to learn and so much for me to teach them just on a day-to-day basis. So if you're a little overwhelmed with like the standards or what you have to teach them and all that, just know that that'll all happen along the way. I wouldn't stress yourself out, because I think you'll be surprised at how much your kids are going to learn from you without like sitting down with bookwork. There's so much more that they're going to be learning beyond that too. A great podcast that I find a lot of just assurance in and encouragement is the Dorinda Wilson podcast. She kind of eases my mind about homeschooling. She has 8 children, I believe. She's homeschooled all of them, and she has 2 books. I'm reading her 4-Hour Homeschool Day 1 right now. I read her Unhurried Homeschool book as well. That one is, oh, I forgot to talk to you guys about books. I'm going to write them down below. The Unhurried Homeschool, the 4-Hour Day Homeschool, Wild and Free is a great book to start with. And if there's any, for the children's sake is another one I just read. If there's any more, I will put them down below. But the Wild and Free podcast is another really, really good place to start. It gave me so many good ideas and just got me excited for homeschooling, and also changed my perspective on so many things about school and how I wanted to approach it. And also reminded me that I'm not recreating school at home. This is completely different than the traditional school. And there's a lot of beauty in that. If you guys have any specific questions, let me know in the comments, send me a DM. And if you have any things that you really love for your family that you guys do, and like if it's specific products or if it's just your routine, your schedule, please leave me a comment, let me know, let everyone else know, because I'm sure everyone watching this would love to get your input as well. And yeah, that is it for today's video. I will see you guys